Lebkano ya manta lola state house premises. If I get the chief of staff or somebody, I've been within Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, which is really strange because you know, like State House is somewhere mentioned medical facilities, because it's State House. You know, because as a residents, I mean, there are residents, the president and his family, you know, and then of course, you know, the staff.
Yes,
so that if I could fully remember, for example, you take White House as an example in the U.S. They have a medical facility, a White House medical facility, run by the military. You know, U.S. soldier Bunalaka Tamandi for the first family and the staff. Nalonko ika jararudi at a certain level, but then they don't. So at a certain point, Jararu goes out. Yes. So if you recall, for Biden or Trump had COVID. When Trump was president, he had COVID, and assembled to a military hospital. Okay, but also like the number 10 in UK, in the Prime Minister residence, it's not facilities at all. But again, if you recall, Boris Johnson had COVID at one time, and he assembled to a hospital, a public hospital across the street. Now, I think this issue in the U.S. normally presidents or their families priority is military hospital level. You know, because as part of the state system, command transportation is like Air Force One is run by the U.S. military, the helicopters run by the U.S. military, so the medical service and those kind of things. We're only part of the state structure, which makes sense. So they have military hospitals. You know, therefore, I'm not saying this proves some context this situation.
I understand.
So that is to say, at the minimum, you need a facility at State House, and I think there is a facility, medical facility in the State House. Now, just like coming that facility issue, Gambia Kujama Bijang the necessary law or policy regulation about it. To determine a medical facility at State House. I'm not sure whether there's a regulation or policy around it to say what kind of doctor can operate there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what kind of services they can give, and in a referral process and so on. And I hope with this thing coming, the government and State House would do that because the Gambajan Kujama Bije. Either the policy is not there at all, there's no protocol, or protocol BJ, but you know, is like from the 80s or from colonial time, may update. So what I oppose therefore to say no hospital Lola at Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, and if I hear government officials are saying for even public servants, you know, but in any case, State House officials. Now, Edward Francis Small Hospital is a public hospital. I don't think we should cut out a portion. You could not allocate that to State House or public officials. The was not Yaro Kenola because as not Nandiwo area need a lot more attention, focus, or resources than the rest of the hospitals. And it would not be nice in a public hospital we have public officials, and you know, and who else? I said that their families would come as well, and so on. You know, in that particular place, and we know wala Joran Nila, Borol Nila, Dukulal Milbije are more equipped than rest of Edward Francis Small Teaching.
It all a publication over on State House near GB. It only mean for is Loptano is for State House. It all a publication or a minge on their Facebook page. I don't know why the change that they're taking it to now Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, but
so I'm opposed to that idea. I think the State House clinic medical facility should be in State House. And, you know, the priority should be the president and his family, which is a small community. So that facility also has to be limited in the way it is going to be equipped. Because it's not like the president is going to be sick every day or a family. And, you know, normally the president would have his doctor, you know. So that the priority should be, how do we, other hospitals, you know, Edward Van Small Teaching Hospital and all other hospitals can well equip, you know, to a level more than the Minnesota science. I think for me, when I take a priority, so that when they say come in Chinese or the clinic lolaje, you know, Minister of Health, the Director of Medical Service, you know, Department of Medical Health, Medical Services, will contact the bank, will determine in terms of, you know, clinic nyantakala dan nyadile. Now I'm just saying this prove to avoid a situation now, you go and practically build a hospital in the State House, or, you know, you build a facility now, at the end of the day, you know, it is more than necessary, so that it becomes a waste of resources in a country now, you know, more, public health facilities are, you know, very, very poorly equipped, you know. So I'm concerned by this. You know, I think for me the priority should be public facilities maybe equipped so that the president Sasat or a family he can go to a health facility and adequate attention to them. As a Sarakunda hospital, adequate attention to them. Because at the end of the day, also from a code, you know, demystify. The president is a citizen, and not just a citizen; he's a servant. So what is important is facility created across the country. President, farmer, teacher, you know, student, any ordinary citizen, is it and get adequate support. All right. But coming to that perspective in governance and leadership, even everything for the president or for public officials, LAFTA are different from what the rest of it is. So they have a different transport system because we equip them with heavy vehicles. You know, they have all sorts of, you know, incentives, allowances, benefits, and simply because we go, okay, they are public officials. But the rest of Gambia, they need proper public transport system. So that if you are giving the president coming or motor back at all, all right, and you claim as the president and a security and need this kind of vehicle, okay, you say fair enough. But then also, don't forget that that president, and a primary function is to make sure that many proper transport systems are in place. So yes, we need to give the president attention, and medical needs should be addressed. Yeah, because I've been doing to serve the people. But that president himself, a primary function is to make sure there is proper medical services across this country.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Right.
So for now balance, and the legal balance, so the special treatment the public officials know as if there's something special being a public official. And a public official, if you want to say a public servant in Mandinka or Wolof or Jola Sarawal, you can only say Bindan.
Yes, they're working for the citizens.
Yes. And when I get consent, for now understand, you know, when you say public servant, well, what does that mean? Really, what does that mean in practice? So, so me, I'm concerned about this issue, and in that regard, I want the National Assembly to be involved. National Assembly has a committee on health. I think it's a legitimate matter for a foreign government, Kalafika Lepano law or a health facility law in State House, or maybe somewhere else, but for the you know, the state, State House. So I want to see, you know, medical and the National Assembly Select Committee. Take a call to Sula, from the Minister of Health. All right, is the president announced? We hear the chief of staff talking about it. but Mamfemo the Minister of Health, because war has to be within the government health system anyway. So Minister of Health, Mamfemo following Koto publicly, the Director of Medical Services, Mamfemo Alakoto, and Edward Francois Teaching Hospital itself has a chief, how do you call it, chief medical, executive.
Yeah, chief medical director or something like that.
So Mamfemo will work. So, therefore, left transparency. So that transparency in court.